This morning, more stunning discoveries in the disturbing case of the missing Massachusetts mother of three, Ana Walshe. Law enforcement sources tell CNN that investigators found a hacksaw, torn up cloth material, and what appears to be bloodstains while combing through a trash facility they were searching. Earlier in the week, investigators put crime scene tape outside and around dumpsters located in an apartment complex in Swampscott, Massachusetts, that near the home of the mother of Walshe's husband, Brian. He is being held on a felony charge of misleading a police investigation. Joining me now to discuss is attorney and legal affairs commentator Areva Martin. Areva, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Jim.
So first, when you look at the collection of evidence so far, he's being held, but purely for misleading police. But since then, we've learned he bought cleaning materials, nearly $500 worth, the day after she disappeared. He was doing internet searches for how to dispose of a body, and now they're clearly searching this disposal area here, and they found some things that could be connected to the case. Do you see investigators moving in the direction here of charging him?
A lot of moving parts at this time, Jim. Obviously, prosecutors can file murder charges even in the absence of a body, but it makes it very difficult to get a conviction in cases like that. They have to rely on circumstantial evidence, and the circumstantial evidence here looks bad for Mr. Walshe, but it doesn't establish, first of all, that there's even a dead body. The blood could suggest that there was some kind of domestic violence, some kind of altercation that resulted in someone bleeding out, but it doesn't establish that Mrs. Walshe is actually dead. So I think that's the dilemma that the prosecutors have at this time. Do they wait and try to find her, or find a body? Because we know there's no statute of limitations with respect to a murder charge.
So I wonder, from a legal perspective, is it that they might be able to get an indictment here, but they're trying to build a case, again, if it gets there, for conviction, right? I mean, aware of that very challenge you're discussing there, which is that without a body, it's much harder to get there.
Yes, and as you know, Jim, the prosecution has the burden of proof of proving its case beyond reasonable doubt, and that's a pretty high burden, a pretty high legal standard. And without a body, again, they're going to be forced to rely on circumstantial evidence. Obviously, they have the forensic evidence, in this case, the blood. They have what may be a weapon that was used with respect to any kind of harm that was done to her. But the question remains, is she just missing? Is this someone that was involved in some kind of altercation with her husband and walked away? Now, not likely, given that she's the mother of three small kids. This type of activity, based on what we've heard from her mother, is unusual. But the prosecutors have a lot of work to do to try to establish, again, is this just a case of someone who is missing, or was she actually murdered?
These are all important provisos. It's early in the investigation. We shouldn't be jumping to any conclusions here. Tell us what the defense strategy would be at this point.
Yeah, the defense obviously is going to take the position that there is no evidence that she is dead, and that without a dead body, without someone who's actually deceased, you can't bring murder charges. They may, in some cases like this, we see people hire their own investigator to try to find the individual. Again, letters written to the court, not involving this case, but involving the fraud case that Mr. Walshe was charged for selling a fraudulent artwork. She wrote pretty compelling and warm letters to the judge talking about her husband in very kind and favorable words. So the last evidence that we have of sorts relating to the condition of their relationship doesn't suggest that this is someone who was afraid of her husband, who thought ill of her husband. The letter in fact suggests to the judge that she thought very highly of her husband. So the defense is pointing to that letter as evidence that this is not a marriage in turmoil.
Understood. That you referencing, of course, the case he had prior to this related to fraud, unrelated to her disappearance. Areva Martin, good.